Hey guys, Louie here. I'm just busting past all this traffic here in the HOV lane with my electric car. Gotta love doing that in the morning. You know, there are times when being environmentally aware actually pay off. You know, you don't have to be a total hard ass all the time when you're conservative. You can have some progressive opinions. But I just wanted to take a minute and congratulate all of the supporters of Trump on the victory and offer condolences to all of those who supported Hillary and were not successful. I know it was a big shock. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, I fully expected to be congratulating Hillary on her presidency. And as things changed, I realized that there really was a concerted effort to distort the truth about his support. And it's different, I think, depending on where you live, because where I live in California, he was resoundingly defeated 2-1. And we voted for new taxes across the board, new bond issues across the board, all kinds of stuff that is not conservative. And I know people are very upset here. But I do think that he is going to try to be a president for the entire country. And I do think that anything he does, he will think first what is best for the United States, what is best for its people, its true citizens, and immigrants, legal immigrants, and what is appropriate and allowed within the law. One of the things that I think people in general were rebelling against is the total breakdown of our system and our democracy. And when you cannot rely on the Justice Department, and you cannot rely on the courts, and you cannot rely on anybody curtailing the power of the president, who's gone beyond the Constitution, then you've lost your country. And I think while many people want to have a kinder, gentler United States and believe that there are sufficient resources to open up everything we have to the world, there are those of us that are a little more conservative and believe that you have to build a strong foundation. And I think that is what Trump is trying to do. I think he's going to try and restore law and order to failing democracy. The money system is failing. The military has been gutted and is failing. The unions and public workers have taken over. They're revolving doors of money and lobbyists and foundations. It needs to come to an end. So what do I think will happen? I think it's going to be traumatic. I think that, when the patient is terribly ill, then the medicine has got to be strong. And we've spent going on 10 years of being given aspirin and told it'll all be better tomorrow. Well, it's more like we've got leukemia and we're going to need some serious treatment for it to restore a reasonable, healthy system, a reasonable and healthy monetary system, a reasonable and healthy military, a reasonable and reliable justice system. So I think that's going to be tough. I don't know what that's going to do to precious metals, but I have shorted the bond, the U.S. bond. I believe rates will start to rise. I believe when and if Trump is able to revise the tax code, that will reinvigorate the business sector. And I believe that jobs are coming back to America. I believe that manufacturing will come back to America. We know how to make things. I don't care if you're 20 years old or 64 years old. We know how to do stuff. We've got the ability. We've got the know-how. We've got the willingness. Not everybody can run a goddamn computer. Not everybody is good at high-tech stuff. There are people throughout this country that want to make things with their hands, that want to be, do something other than collect a check from the government. And yes, if we curtail the illegal immigrants, then you know what? There will be more jobs. There's nothing wrong with good, honest work. All right, making an iPhone, what is wrong with that if that's where you are in life? Maybe someday you'll be running the plant that makes the iPhones. What's wrong with paying more for an iPhone if that puts Americans to work? So I do think he's going to take that position. I think there is so much money being squandered currently that just curtailing the rate of growth of the government will create a treasure chest of money that can be used to restore our infrastructure. The money that was squandered on Obama's infrastructure projects that all went to the unions and Medi-Cal and the service sector employee raises, well, if that money is put into actual construction projects to improve our infrastructure, America will start to shine. Don't get me started on Obamacare. It's the biggest fraud that's ever been perpetrated on the American people. What it was a Trojan horse to add millions of people into the Medi-Cal system. When I go into the waiting rooms of my doctor's office, all I see are the new Medi-Cal beneficiaries getting free services. All right? Not that they don't deserve health care, but it's going to bankrupt California. And the people voting for the liberal practices and the giveaways have really underestimated how dangerous that approach is. I know California is liberal and progressive. I know Illinois is liberal and progressive. And DC, well, frankly, I think they all just want their jobs because they're all going to be out of work. But that can't sustain itself. You can't spend to infinity and just expect the next Google to create enough tax revenue to support the state. You've got to get back on a strong footing. Our government is built on quicksand right now, and Trump has got to drain the swamp. I hope they don't kill him. I hope that he's allowed to make some changes, but there are going to be a lot of changes, Democrat side and the Republican side. I don't think he's got support within the Republican Party. I think he's going to be negotiating with people that don't like what he has to say, and change may come slow, but I think the intentions are correct and true. And he is a patriot, and he believes in America, and he wants to do the right thing. This joke of, somebody who's not a politician has no business running, having a political position. Are you kidding me? The founding fathers did not want career politicians. They wanted people to come from the private sector because they knew how corrupt a permanent political class could become and has become. And if you haven't seen that under Obama and Hillary, wow, you are not watching the details. So good luck, Donald. Good luck, conservatives. Consolation to the people who are truly upset today. I know I was yesterday, but you know what? Nobody I've voted for has won in a really long time, and it's time to reverse the Obama experiment. It's time to reverse the liberal policies. It's time to take a hard right turn. It's the medicine we need, and I am thrilled. I'm happy. My family is proud of America, and thank you especially in the heartland of America, the flyover states, as Obama calls them. Thank you for bringing us back to reality. Thank you for doing the right thing. Thank you for putting your country over a government paycheck or a handout or a promise that never comes. Good for you. In California, I'm just going to keep my head low and see what happens. I will very likely be negatively affected by a Trump presidency, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready to make that sacrifice for our kids, for our country. Losing Louis signing out.